Okay, I think we're live now. Hopefully we are. Hopefully we are. I'll just wait for some people to come along. And then we'll get started. I've got my other phone here. Don't think there's anyone watching yet, but we'll go and get stuff to get started. Hopefully audio's coming through okay. And hopefully we can still hear audio. Hopefully the video's looking okay, or as best as it can. See what I need to get out here. Okay. These are my poles for my 15m Moxon, so I'm just away to get some things out. Thanks Dwayne. Hopefully you can see everything okay. I've got it streaming off 4G, but I don't think the quality's great. Wi-Fi wasn't great either. I'm actually just in the garage here trying to get some bits and pieces out here. Let me see, I need that and that. Right, okay. Oh, we've got some people there. Guys, you can let me know if it's buffering or not. Hopefully it's coming through okay. This is my little Moxon centre spreader. So I'm going to set this up. I've got some 15m poles here, and we'll set those up. Okay, if it's getting 720, then that's okay. We can live with that, and hopefully the audio is okay through this wireless mic. I've got one on me. I've got one beside the camera on the ground here. So if I'm in the garage and I lose audio, then hopefully you'll get some sort of audio. Oh, excellent! No buffering. Perfect. Right. What we'll do, put that in here. Actually, you can see we've obviously got some snow on the ground here, which is pretty rare for Scotland. I'll put my phone there. Okay. First thing I do, I'm just going to fix my centre divider here. So these are 15.9 diameter aluminium poles. I don't know what that is. It's an imperial size. You guys across the pond will know what that is. Is that 5/8 maybe? And I've drilled out the centres just a little bit to accept my 15m. They're 11mm poles that I'm going to be using. So these are the spreaders, tent poles, and they're all set to a set length. They're all identical length. And you can see even I've got a ring on one of them. Eventually, once everything's all set up, what I'll do is I'll put the the elastic string that you can put through the tent poles. So all I'm going to do is set these up. I've got a path round the side of my garden here, and people will be thinking he's talking to himself. So there we go. So we set that at 42 degrees, that's what that gets set at. So, okay, so there is, hopefully you can see this. What I'll maybe do is I'll put it on the centre of the trampoline. Okay. I'll move the phone if need be. Second set of poles. It's been unusually cold of late, but it is getting a bit milder. Had this snow on the ground for a few days now. And when it's cold, see when you're trying to get black insulating tape undone, it's not easy. No nails here. So this, if you've not been following the channel, this is just a bit of development on my 15m Moxon. I need to go and get a knife or something. And the 10m Moxon was a success, so I wanted to do the same for 15, because it's still a 15m Moxon isn't too big. But I'm using a tension system, so the length of the poles need to be reasonably exact, but the only way to do that is by basically setting it up and basically cutting a little bit off one of the poles till you get it to the right length. Once it's the right length, all's good to go. So for you, those of you thinking about making a Moxon and you want to make a tension system like this is something that you could do. These poles are a little bit heavier than the 8m poles, sorry, 8mm poles that I use on the 10m Moxon, but they're just too floppy for this. So there's half of them in. So the purpose of this is not really to get the antenna up, check SWR and things like that. I actually just want to get the element wire which I'm using, get that tensioned up and actually see if these poles are going to be any good. And I've got a little backup plan if it doesn't. But I've got the house to myself for about an hour or so, so we'll see what we can do within that time. See, when you've got these poles all set with the elastic string and everything running through them, it's an absolute doddle to put this up. Literally a couple of minutes. But I just have to, they'll just slip out if I don't watch. Get the last go in here. I'll see if there's any comments. Oh, hi James. Hi Jonathan. It is a little cold, Jonathan, but there's no wind and I quite like working out when it's like this. It's just absolutely beautiful, calm, still, so I don't mind if I keep moving. Right, okay. Right, so that's our 4 arms in. Okay, I don't expect this to work first time. I expect to be, oh, just like that. I expect to need to cut down one of the poles, which I'll do in the bandsaw in the garage. Right, now I need to go and get the 15m element. This has already been pre-cut and I hopefully cut to size. I managed to cut the 10m element correctly the first time, probably by luck more than anything else. So I've just followed the same formula for the 15m version. Here it is. So I've got it wrapped around this bit half pipe, and this is so how this works is each of the corners is tensioned. You can see a little copper ferrule there, so effectively the whole thing will lock, or should in theory. I might need to put some cross braces. Right, that's the feed point, that goes there like that. There's, okay, if you don't put the wire around one of these wire winders, you'll have nothing but hassle. Talking from experience, do it like this and it's quite easy. There we go. I think I will need to remove some material off the poles here. Right, that's that. That's our feed point. So first thing I'm going to do is actually going to connect up the feed point to join the whole thing together so it's a complete loop. Here's my little feed point and it needs to be kind of lightweight. Here we go, RG316 coax. It's all waterproofed up and everything, got liquid electrical tape on it. You could probably hear planes in the background. Edinburgh Airport's just, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 miles as the crow flies from me. And they've got there's a flight path that goes over Livingston, which is just to the south of me. So, yeah, that's somebody just taking off. An EasyJet flight, by the looks of it. Right. Go. And hopefully, I'm going to be able to dual band this at some point. And get it for 15 and 10 metres, which will be pretty cool. That's a wee bit away yet, because there'll probably be some interaction between the elements. Right, there's our feed point connected up. Now is the fiddly bit. I'll make a fool of myself doing this. Right, what we'll do is I'll connect this up. These are just little aluminium carabiners. That's on the wrong side. See, this is because when the poles are not joined together, it's fiddly. Put that under there. And the snow's not exactly helping things, to be honest. It's a little bit twisted, that. But this way, clip it on there. And you'll see these poles start to bend and twist. Okay. The last corner's always the worst. So as we try and tension this up. Right, now. There we go here. Wow, that wasn't too bad actually. And there is our 15m Moxon. Now, it's a little bit floppy, but that's okay. We can deal with that. It's not. Now, if I lift this up like so, see how floppy it is. We're going to need to tension it. That's workable. Yeah, these poles, there's still too much tension on them. You can see that it almost wants to sit there. Hopefully you can see that in the video. I've kind of got to look at it and just see what I actually think wise. Right. It's not terrible, you know. There's a fine balance between the curves. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take just a little bit more off the poles and just drop it down a little bit more so it's not quite tensioning it as much. But it's not bad. It's not bad. So that's one off. All these poles are all pretty much exact the same length, so it doesn't matter which pole you put in, which bit of the centre divider, which makes it good. But do you know what? It's not far away. So if we look at these, I'm going to take, say, 20mm off the end here, and I'll do that on the bandsaw. I'll put a little bit of tape round about them. I'll mark them all so they'll be exactly the same length, and then we'll take them down. So you're probably going to hear this bandsaw kicking off, but hey ho. Hopefully you can still hear me. The wireless mic I'm using, it's 2.4 gig, so it's not only really any good for line of sight. It's just too much hassle to move the camera, I'm afraid. I'm just putting a little bit of masking tape, as I said, around these, because that then stops them splintering. Right, is this going to be on? Oh, it's on already, look at that. The GRP is very hard on the blades. Okay, I'll touch them up with a bit of sandpaper later. So if we look at these, you can see they've been cut down. I just need to take the bit of masking tape off them. It's not worth doing it without the tape because you will splinter them. Hope this is not too much. I'll have a look at the comments. Hi Andy. Hi Kelly. Oh no, this is the best weather for it. Honestly. This is my favourite weather for doing working. It just gets too warm in the summer. Right. Let's see. Put one in here. One in here. I'm actually a bit warm with the fleece I've got on, to be fair. It might be coming off shortly. That's not right. No. Right. That's a bit better. I can tell that's better already. Right. I don't want to actually go much further than that. Now, before I go any further, it's actually tensioned up a little bit better. The more that the arms actually curve in, the more floppy it goes. Hard to explain, but that seeing what I've done with the 10 metre, it's not far away. Let's try something. What am I looking for? This. This is a bit dummy fiberglass pole, an old cheapy 10 metre pole I bought years ago. What I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen, and I'm going to take out this little bit dummy PVC pipe in the middle, and I'm going to replace it with this pole. Right. So there's method in my madness somewhere. Now I'm going to lift it. It helps me with lifting it for one. Yep. So, what do we do now? Well, let's have a look. This is where I'm talking about my plan B. If I can find it, I need that. I need don't tell me I've run out. I'm looking for some more of these little carabiners that I had. Got a funny feeling I'm out. I can tie the one, it's not an issue if need be, and get the length set, and that kind of learns. I've got two, that's not really any good. I need to order another packet from Amazon. They're really cheap, saying they're about £5 or something, £6 for 10 of them. Well, we can use two, and we can just tie the other ones on. Right, okay. Right, let's see what we got here. So I think I could take some more off the arms when I look at it coming back out there, looking at the angle, but I'm going to try and put some cross braces on it, if that makes sense. And that, in theory, should block the whole thing up. Now, doing kind of work, see this Webtex paracord, it's not UV resistant, but it's quite handy. It's about £10 for a roll, 100 metres. So it's not really for permanent use, but I don't mind using a few bits and then throwing them away. It's just handy, but you could use any sort of string. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tie off two of these. Did I bring the scissors? Aye, they're out there. So, I'm actually going to go to this corner because this will be the longest part. And I'm going to leave it quite long. So I'm going to click the carabiner onto the little ring. And then, oops, it's twisted. And then I'm going to bring it over to here. And you could probably guess what I'm going to do. Right, make that a little bit longer actually. Yeah. Now, take that one back. In fact, I'll just leave it on there. In fact, it'll be easier if I take it off and then I can just measure the length. But yeah, I'm going to order I'll order some of these little carabiners up on Amazon later. Now, Yeah, it's a pain, too short, but never mind. This is not permanent, this is just proving what I think will work, will actually work. I want the string to come straight off the reel, so it's not tangling. There we go, there's two. So, and then I got the yellow stuff just because it's easier to see. And then, there we go. Oops, daisy. Right, take this one again. One more length. So ideally you want these all the same length, and preferably you want to use a bit. What I'm thinking about doing is using basically 90% of this stuff or something similar, and using a little bit of the shock cord. You know that you get the thicker kind of elastic shock cord, and it actually comes with a kit when you buy these poles. Right, okay. Let's cut this, hopefully. They're all long enough. Good. Right. I'll just check the comments quickly. Oh, hi Tim. Hopefully the bands are open on 10. My plan was Sunday to get on 10, although I'm not quite sure if family plans will get in the way or not, but that was my plan. I had it booked on the calendar, but we'll see. My idea was get the Moxon up and try Sunday afternoon. If I was really ambitious, I was going to have the 15 metre version done, but I think that's unlikely. So, I'm just going to hook these up. I'll need to tie these on. Just put a light knot in it. Right, into the middle. And, oops, a daisy. What happened there? I catch it with my foot. Could be a disaster, this, mind you. But you never know unless you try. Okay, last one. Right, let me see. If only this trampoline wasn't here. Now you can see, oh, it's tangled. Now, as you can see, and I've pulled this up already, you can see the difference. Look at that. Okay, that's positive. The thing is, it's a very fine balance to do this. Very fine. Thick paracord would actually be, it's not thick paracord, the thick shock cord stuff. The stuff that comes with these is maybe just a little bit too thin. Because what happens is you can end up taking the tension off the poles, which is what you don't want to do. Right, that's made it a lot more rigid. Just like that. Ah, it's come off. My knot's come undone. Let's put a double knot on it. I think it'll perform great against the vertical, Kelly. I really do, when you get it in the open. I remember years ago when I was first licensed, I remember talking to a guy in the States, and I was just, trying to give me advice, and one of the things he said to me was, he says, once you get 20 metres and above, that's where a Yagi starts to sing. There's probably something in that. It depends on location as well. Ah, there we go. Look at that. I don't think we need 4. Look at that, it's almost starting to lock up. Haha, superb. I was wanting the camera on the other side, but afraid that the sun was going to block everything out. If you look at that already, it's locked it up quite a lot. But yeah, we're going to need the 4 cross. I mean, you couldn't do this practically every time. It wouldn't be practical, but I think you could do this and have them set to a pre-length and have them and hook them on. I think that's achievable. And I did all this with the 15m Moxon for the course of a couple of weeks. And this is the bit that takes the time. I just want to get a knot in there. I quite like this Webtex stuff. And then last one. Oh, it's going to be rigid. This is going to work. And to be fair, it might work with the smaller rods. See, once you do this, something I'm very lazy, is actually take measurements. So when you come back to it, you're not doing it all over again. Because if you take the average of the length of these to there, that's exactly the length that you need. How's that? And this is the first time we're doing this. Oh, it's a wee bit off, but it's never going to be over. There we go. And that's, look at that, I'm giving that a serious shake. Hopefully you can see that in the camera. That's serious shake, look at this. And look, let me tell you, this isn't heavy. You'll get this on a 12-metre spider beam, easy. I'm swithering whether to take more off the poles, but I don't think I'm going to do that because these yellow strings are actually strengthening everything up, and is giving the wire a little bit of height. 10 metres is easy to get up, 5 metres that's a cinch. 15 metres I'm going to need to get it up, what, half wave, 7 metres, 7.5 metres, something like that. So I think I've proved the principle. It's going to work. 15m Moxon. And my garden isn't that big, folks. And I'll actually take some measurements. That's what I'm going to do. And then you can see, if you can get a support in your garden, this will work. And look there, it's sitting already. Oh, I'll just look at the comments while I'm going up here. Thanks, Kelly. Hi. Lots of practice. What am I looking for? What did I come in here for? Measuring tape, didn't I? Measuring tape and pen. Right. Right, here we go. I'll actually see if I can, what I'll do is I'll try and put the camera up a wee touch. I don't think it needs to be quite that low. It's not bad actually. Hopefully it's still reasonably, no, it's a bit wonky. It is actually getting a bit cold, feel it on my face now, a bit colder. Right, this is actually the first time I'm doing any work since I hurt my hand, but it's almost there. Right. This is a problem in the snow, I'm going to start losing everything here. Right. So size-wise, if we look at the width, so really the tip of the pole to the tip of the pole, you're talking about exactly 190 centimetres, 1900. Just let me, what do I do with my pen? Here we go. This is where I need to take notes, because I will forget this stuff. Sorry, 15m Moxon, so 1900 wide. Yep, perfect. And lengthwise, this is actually going to be more difficult. Everything's frozen. I'm not trying to get this exact, but 4.8 metres, 4800. Or thereabouts. So if you've got a space that is 2 metres wide by 5 metres wide, and you can get a pole right in the middle of that, on the diagonals, you could put up this Moxon. When you get to 20 metres, it's much bigger. The jump from 15 to 20 is huge. But I still think that this is achievable for those with small gardens. Mine's is a reasonable size, it's just full of furniture. Right, let's have a look. This is where I need an extra pair of hands. Right. 2730. Two, 7, 2. And then the average of these should be exactly what I need. See, that one's a bit less, 2650. Two 610. Right, I'll work those sizes out later. But what I'm actually thinking about doing is I'm going to use this Webtex paracord stuff, and I'm going to use that for almost all of the length, and then right at the end here I'm going to put a little bit of shock cord, or maybe even doubled up shock cord. I'll go and see if I can find some. Maybe someone can tell me when I come back in the comments if you could still hear me. That's me in the garage, wondering if you guys can still hear me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is the kind of shock cord stuff that comes with the tent kits. Oh, brilliant, Kelly, thank you. That's good. That's good to know for future reference. Yeah, so this stuff's maybe 3mm diameter. So maybe just a bit of this at the end of those. I mean, it's only just to take the tension up and no more. You don't need a lot. What if it was doubled over as a loop? Yeah, so if you basically put a loop like so, and it just stretches, and you could put it over. Now imagine if this is basically you clamp onto the section below, and this is the section above, which is going to give you that support. So you could do that on basically any pole. So whatever pole that you're using, you need to know to basically clamp it on the next section down, the second section from the top. But that's going to work. There's not actually too much more I can do just now. What time is it? I don't have time to set up the pole. I was actually thinking about, and the ground's absolutely rock solid. I'd never get my pegs into the ground. But my idea was actually to set up the pole, get it up a few metres, and actually just check the SWR, because this could actually be a waste of time if I do this. Or do I have confidence in the wire that I've cut it to the right length, and I don't have that 100%, I'm 95% sure it'll be fine. Because if I need to remake that wire, I need to make it again. I've just made it as per the calculator, which with this bare stainless steel wire was spot on for 10 metres. So no, I don't think I'm going to do that. But so what I need to do is as I said, I need to order some of these little aluminium carabiners from Amazon. They're really good, and they can just clip on the yellow string. Use that for kind of 90% of the length. Terminate it with a bit of that shock cord. What did I do with it? Over here. Double it up. So what you would basically do is you would just then hook that over the centre pole, and then you would just bring it out and just clip it on to the end of the pole, and that's not difficult to do. That would take you, to do the 4 of them, that's going to take you less than a minute. Still a really quick setup antenna. And thinking ahead is how do we do 10 metres to add that on. That's going to be the next. I'm going to need to get some sort of clamps that clamp on. But let's see if we can get 15 metres working first. I don't know if there's a lot more I can do, but at least I've got the confidence to get it up on the pole and try it out now. I know that it's going to be reasonably it's going to work, put it that way. Okay. I thought the dog would want to come out and see me, but she's not. Yep, don't think there's much else I can do, if I'm perfectly honest. If there's anything you maybe want, if anyone's got any questions before I take it down, you know, ask away. I'm just going to lift it up again and give it another shuggle. That's going to be good. That's going to be excellent. So guys, a 15 m Moxon isn't out with your reach. And I reckon in materials, all materials, and okay, there's postage and packaging and stuff, but material costs alone, I reckon there's about £70 in this, or thereabouts. A lot less if you've got all the stuff, obviously. The most expensive thing is the poles, and they're not expensive. I think they're about £7 a set, and I think you need 5 sets. So what's that, 35? So that's the bulk of it. And what I'm also thinking about is, see if it's up like this. Imagine taking that like so, putting it on its side, make it an adapter plate, make it into a vertical Moxon, and then take it down to seawater. That would be cool, eh? Right, I think we'll just take this down now. I don't think there's a lot more we can do. But it's been a successful test, that's for sure. Really pleased with that. Take one of these off at a time. And the important thing is I've got my sizes there because I can kind of pre-cut these and get them ready, at least. But yeah, I really need to get it up and tested. I'll maybe do that Sunday. I really wanted to test my 10 metre out, actually on air. But I might do the R&D instead. I know that sounds crazy. Sometimes I enjoy building antennas more than I do actually testing them. And this thing's just going to completely collapse now. Yep, there it is, just flops down. For ages now, I've been winding my coax with this up and over method. Was it over and under? We basically do this. Under, over, under, over, under, over, and then when you pull it out, it just doesn't tangle. There's one. Oh, hi Tobias. You're alright, you can watch on catch up. Yeah, the tensioners will be pre-cuts to size and it'll all be evened out, Kelly, so that's the way I've kind of designed it. So it doesn't matter what pole you put in what bit of the centre divider, and it would be the same with the tensioners. It doesn't matter which one you put in there, it'll just come together. But by using a bit of the, what do you call it, shock cord stuff, you can get away. It doesn't need to be absolutely spot on when you make it, because we're using this stuff, because when it's pulled tight you can actually basically take the tension off the poles and you still want to have that tension on it. So it's a little bit of a balancing act, but once it's set, it'll just go up. get a little box out and put all this stuff in, like a little project box, so it's just all ready to go back to. But there is a few hours of R&D in this to do all this. Obviously the arms and stuff, and preparing the arms, and the little ferrules that joins the poles together, the glue that they use to stick the ones, terrible. And I always give everyone a tug to see if it comes off, and usually they'll come off, and then I've got to super glue them back on. That's what I noticed with these tent poles. Right, so what could we do? We could actually just disconnect the feed point. It doesn't matter which way you do it, just takes the tension off. I need to make another one of these feed points up, because this is the only one I have. Stuff's all there to do it, so I've got a spare. But at least it's the same feed point no matter the band, which is good. So that doesn't need to be interchangeable. Right, what I'll do is I'm just going to go around and unclip. This is the bit you need to do neat, in order to get the elements wrapped around their little winder without tangling. It does look fiddly, this, I know, but it's not once you get used to it, and once it's all set up. Right, there we go. I'm actually just going to take out the poles. But you can imagine when these are on the elastic, they just fold and all stay together. There's one set. Right. But I reckon there's maybe, to finish this completely, and that, so if the wire is the correct length, and I don't need to remake that, I reckon there's maybe 2 hours worth of work in this left, and that'll be it finished, complete. Right, I'm short of one of the ends. Oopsie daisy. Again, working in the snow, loose things. Last one. Again, a little close up of the poles. You can see them there. I wish they were a bit thinner, if I'm honest with you, but can't really choose that. And if you want custom stuff, that's when it becomes expensive. Again, there's the centre divider, and I had to drill this out. These were 9mm internal diameter, but the poles were just a little bit, 9.5, and the poles were 9.5, so I needed to just drill them out a little bit, which I did. Right, at the element. So we're almost done, folks, and it is much appreciated for watching. I thought it was as well for some people having a look. I've never seen this before, what's actually involved, and I'm doing it kind of real time. I think this is like putting a fishing trace on. Oh, I can see an RAC van across the road. For those of you don't know where that is. What was that? Was that the? I don't know. Was that the Royal Automobile Club? I don't know if that's what originally stood for, but breakdown basically. I can see the gentleman across the road. He's obviously, his car's not starting. I'm assuming that's what it is anyway. He doesn't use it that much, and with the cold weather's probably zapped the battery. So there's our element. Before I see, if I just let this go, it's going to spring, and I don't want to do that, so I'm going to go and get some masking tape, and I'll be able to do all the elements as well. I use the, you know, the little, you get the little bungee cords that's got the ball in them. I've got loads of those somewhere. And that's what I use on the 10 metre one. That's what I will use when this gets finished with this. So just a bit of masking tape on it. Masking tape's great. If you're doing antenna work, it's great to use this stuff. I actually want to tape these sets of poles together, and then it keeps it much simpler when you set it back up again. That's the poles. Right, I think I need to go and get a little box, and I've got one somewhere, so everything's in it when I go and set it up the next time. It's just a case of putting everything in it, taking everything out of it. But what I do need to get is like a little carry case. I'll bring this out to show you. I'm saying a carry case, basically like a tent bag, but I can't find exactly the thing I'm looking for at a reasonable price. But what I'm looking for is effectively a bag like this, but a bit bigger, but maybe it's got a zip down it. And what I want to be able to fit in that is ideally a 10 metre spider beam pole, so it's about 60 centimetres long, and then get the Moxon kit in there as well, and that provides a nice little carry case for it. Something I need to do. So I'm just going to use this yellow box here. Put everything in it. That's our box of Moxon done. And this obviously, which I'll just leave sitting in there because it saves me taking it out. I'll just have a little last look at the comments. Aye, go for it, Andy. Alright folks, thank you very much for watching, or if you're watching on replay, just a little insight into some antenna R&D. I'll look at Screwfix, Andy, that's a good shout. But yeah, thanks for watching, and hopefully, now that the hand's healing, yeah, I'm still in two minds what to do, but I think I'm going to get the antenna up on a pole and check the match, because if I know that is right, then I can just completely finish the antenna and get it up, use it, test it. But then my mind starts thinking, when you start to add a 10 metre element on it, there might be some interaction with the feed point, and then you might need to alter the elements. But even if this just I'll be happy if I can just get this set up as a 15 metre monoband Moxon for now, and we can get the 10 metre add-on later. Alright folks, thank you very much for watching once again. Yeah, hopefully we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.